A pleasant day, everyone. I am J.N.O. Rica Blanca, and I am with Riza May Rizuelo, and we are here to present the principle of utilitarianism, Origin and Nature by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. So, what is utilitarianism? Utilitarianism is a theory of morality which advocates actions that foster happiness and opposes actions that cause unhappiness. Utilitarianism promotes the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. Utilitarianism focuses on the happiness of a person. That's when individuals are deciding what to do for themselves alone. They consider only their own utility. For instance, if you are choosing ice cream for yourself, the utilitarian view is that you should choose the flavor that will give you the most pleasure. Utilitarianism, from the word utility or usefulness or moral rightness of a policy, is measured by its tendency to promote the good or to prevent the harm. There are two famous utilitarian philosophers, namely Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. These two classical utilitarians identify the good with pleasure. They held that we ought to maximize the good, that is, bring about the greatest amount of good for the greatest number. Utilitarianism is generally credited to the English philosopher Jeremy Bentham. He found pain and pleasure to be the only intrinsic values in the world, and these he derived the rule of utility, that good is whatever brings the greatest happiness to the greatest number of people. Bentham's foremost proponent was James Mill, and his son John Stuart Mill, who was educated from a young age according to Bentham's principles. In his famous 1861 short work, Utilitarianism, John Stuart Mill both named the movement and refined Bentham's original principles. Mill argued that the cultural, intellectual, and spiritual pleasures are of a greater value than mere physical pleasures, as valued by a competent judge, which, according to Mill, is anyone who has experienced both the lower and higher pleasures. There are two types of utilitarianism, the act and rule utilitarianism. In act utilitarianism, according to Jeremy Bentham, is an action is right if and only if it produces the greatest balance of pleasure over pain for the greatest number. While in rule utilitarianism, according to John Stuart Mill, is an action is right if and only if it conforms to a set of rules, the general acceptance of which would produce the greatest balance of pleasure over pain for the greatest number. Now let's proceed to the application of utilitarian theory. In a situation A, you attempt to help an elderly man across the street. He gets across safely, so the conclusion is the act was a good act. While on situation B, you attempt to help an elderly man across the street. You stumble as you go. He is knocked into the path of a car and is hurt. So the conclusion is the act was a bad act. Note that the utilitarianism focuses on the happiness of a person. Another situation is that if you can use 80 soldiers as a decoy in war and thereby attack an enemy force and kill several hundred enemy soldiers, that is morally good choice, even though the 80 might be lost, for it saved 100 and thousands of people. Another situation is that if lying or stealing will actually bring about more happiness and or reduce pain, act utilitarianism says we should lie and steal in those cases. So in utilitarianism, it focuses on the happiness of a person. So if a person found his or her happiness in stealing or lying, then the utilitarian view is that it is a morally good choice.
There are three principles of utilitarianism. First, pleasure is the only thing that truly has intrinsic value. Second, actions are right insofar as they promote happiness, wrong insofar as they produce unhappiness. Third, everyone's happiness counts equally. So first principle, pleasure is the only thing that truly has intrinsic value. To say that something has intrinsic value means that it is simply good in itself. A world in which these things exist or is possessed or is experienced is better than a world without it. Intrinsic value contrasts with instrumental value. Something has instrumental value when it is a means to some end. For example, a screwdriver has an instrumental value to the carpenter. It is not valued for its own sake, but for what can be done by it. Pleasure and happiness, though, are unique in being valued purely for their own sake. No other reason for valuing them needs to be given. It is better to be happy than sad. This can't really be proved, but everyone thinks this. Second principle. Actions are right insofar as they promote happiness, wrong insofar as they produce unhappiness. This principle is controversial because many people would say that what decides the morality of an action is the motive behind it. For example, if you gave 1 million to charity because you want to look good towards the voters in an election, your action is not so deserving of praise as if you gave 50,000 to charity motivated by compassion or a sense of duty. Thus, it makes utilitarianism a form of consequentialism since it says that the morality of an action is decided by its consequences. The more happiness is produced among those affected by the action, the better the action is. For example, giving presents to all your siblings is better than giving a present to just one. Similarly, it is better to save 2 lives than saving 1 life. Third principle, everyone's happiness counts equally. This principle of equality was progressive. When one maximizes the good, it is the good impartially considered. On the utilitarian view, one ought to maximize the overall good, that is, consider the good of others as well as one's own good. It is also the reason why utilitarianism is very far removed from any kind of egoism. Egoism means kaakuhan or pagkamakasarili. Hence, one's good count for no more than anyone else's good. Criticisms of Bintham's theory. Bintham's theory could mean that if 10 people would be happy watching a man being eaten by wild dogs, it would be morally good thing for the 10 men to kidnap someone, especially some whose death would not be cause grief to many others, and threw the man into a cage of wild, hungry dogs. So sa theory ni Bentham, wala kayo ni hatagi og importansya ang human rights nga katong human have the right to live. Kay mas ni-focus siya more on sa katurang mga sovereign people. Mill's adjustment to utilitarianism. Mill argues that we must consider the quality of the happiness, not merely the quantity. So, si Mill nag-ingon siya nga sa happiness dili lang kay ang quantity ra atong tan-awon. Ato sang tagaag importansya ang quality. Kay we human beings have different kinds of happiness. For example, some might find happiness with a pitcher of beer and a pizza. Others may find happiness watching a fine Shakespearean play. The quality of happiness is greater with the latter. Mill's quality arguments. It is better to be a human being dissatisfied than a pig satisfied. Better to be Socrates dissatisfied than a fool satisfied. And if the fool or the pig are of different opinion, it is because they only know their own side of the question. The other party to the comparison knows both sides. Para ni Mel, mas maayo pa nga tao siya or si Socrates nga dili satisfied kaysa sa pig o fool nga satisfied lagi pero wala sila kahibaw sa both sides sa pangutana, if it is good or bad, because they only know their own side of the question. As between his own happiness and that of others, utilitarianism requires him to be as strictly impartial as a disinterested and benevolent spectator. In the golden rule of Jesus of Nazareth, we read the complete spirit of the ethics of utility. To do as you would be done by and to love your neighbor as yourself constitute that ideal perfection of utilitarian morality. So, si Mill mas gyatagan niya og importansya ang human rights, especially ang paglove not just sa atong kaugalingon but also to our neighbors. So, ang neighbors nga gi-means sa naa sa 10 Commandments is not just atong mga silingan. Neighbors is tanang tao nga naa diri sa kalibutan. So, spread love, not hate.
So the debate between utilitarianism and real utilitarianism highlights many important issues about how we should make moral judgments. In utilitarianism, it stresses the specific context and the many individual features of the situations that pose moral problems, and it presents a single method for dealing with these individual cases, while real utilitarianism stresses the recurrent features of human life and the ways in which similar needs and problems arise over and over again. So, from this perspective, we need rules that deal with types or classes of actions like killing, stealing, lying, cheating, taking care of our friends or family, punishing people for crimes, aiding people in needs, and etc. Both of these perspectives, however, agree that the main determinant of what is right or wrong is the relationship between what we do or what form our moral code takes and what is the impact of our moral perspective on the level of people's well-being. So let's proceed to the criticisms of utilitarianism. It has been argued that measuring and comparing happiness among different people is impossible, not only in practice but even in principle. Here's a situation. If I am to bring the greatest happiness to the greatest number, not putting my own happiness above others, that may lead to a dilemma. I live in a neighborhood where 83% of my neighbors use drugs. I could make them most happy by helping them supply with cheap drugs, but I feel uncomfortable doing that. What should a utilitarian do? So obviously, utilitarian will favor and the 83% of people who uses drugs. Another criticism of utilitarianism. Bernard Williams criticized the implied doctrine of negative responsibility in utilitarianism. For instance, a thug breaks into my home and holds 6 people hostage, telling us he will kill all of us. However, the thug says if you will kill 2 of your family, I will let you and the other 3 live. So in utilitarianism, the good thing to do is to kill 2 members of my family. However, that is morally bad. For in the God's commandments, it is stated there that we should not kill. Moving forward, utilitarianism plays fast and loose with God's commandments. If lying, stealing, or killing could lead to an increase of happiness for the greatest number, we are told we should lie, steal, or kill. Isn't that a rejection of God's commandments? So these are some of the criticisms of utilitarianism. Overall, the theory of utilitarianism is sound, logical, and consistent. Utilitarian ethics follow the law of greatest happiness. According to this law, human beings seek to decrease suffering and maximize happiness. Hence, an action that is correct morally must lead to the greatest possible pleasure. This also implies that actions that cause pain on human beings are morally wrong. As seen in the previous arguments, this theory is beyond a reproach, as it caters for all possible objections. So this is the end of our discussion. I hope that you learned and gained some knowledge. Thanks for watching. God bless and keep safe, everyone.